DOZHATOLDYA.COM.
Man, try that shit.
If I can get through to you,
One. Here we go.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Let's go. Yeah, I'm minding my own biz, doing what I usually do, being bored as hell, just thinking about a rhyme or two. I got a ping from my manager, he's saying, hey, what's up? I replied, what room? He said 203. I know what time it is, it surely isn't 5:30. One side not giving a fuck, the other side worried. That be my mindset. I'm still trying to figure out this new way of feeling. Some days it had me illin', today was a reminder of the weary that was over me. When I walked inside, I wish that it was over, G. He did the boss talking ass, was it something wrong? I'm like, sir, we here again singing the same song. I need a challenge and more dollar signs to my name. That nigga basically said, you gotta play the game. Such a reminder that he doing this to get a check.
No rules, man. You know, just keep pushing. And I actually find myself enjoying it. Like basically, artists such as yourself, maybe it's my age, you know, maybe it's the fact that people always, I was always accused of being the up north fan, the guy who likes the up north music, you know what I'm saying, the Duval or whatever, or the Jackson, I mean down south period.
Yeah.
Maybe it's that. But overall, I think you just make good quality, you know, music, and you pay attention. Not just your music, just your product, period. You pay attention to the little things and the details that, you know, make the music get better.
Right.
And I'm saying all that to introduce this episode's guest, DOZHATOLDYA.COM, the roll-up interview series. This one's going to be episode 50, I think we on 53. And today's guest is Mr. Al Pete, man. Yes, Mr. Al Pete. I was supposed to have my somebody had to get usher the people on in. Tell the people go ahead and sit down. Nah, man, I'm just joking, man. Welcome to the podcast, man. Being a producer, a DJ, I was just playing the music. Like, you don't even kind of flex the rapper muscle as much, you know what I'm saying? Like on, like basically social media, as far as I can see.
Yeah. Because
I guess you just do so much, man. Just give a slight introduction of yourself and, man, and your platform for the people that don't know.
Right. The name is Al Pete, Mr. Al Pete, hip hop artist, DJ, journalist, podcaster, founder of the NPN Network, also known to people as Mr. Peters' Neighborhood, and that's what I'm about, man. I got a podcast network called the Neighborhood Podcast Network. You know, producer,
engineer.
Yeah, that's the day job actually. I'm audio engineer, so I do a lot of stuff, man. But yeah, that's
yeah. You definitely wear a lot of hats, man, and
absolutely.
And I know how that is, man. Like the struggle on the side and which hat to put on, and when to take one hat off.
Yeah.
How do you manage through that? Basically, like, how do you decide when it's time to be a rapper? And like, basically, or is it strictly off of inspiration, or do you have goals set that you're gonna drop so many albums or whatever, in a particular amount of years?
Mm-hmm.
Of course, DJing is pretty much when people call, but do you just get inspired when you hear a mix and you just want to, DJ? How do you decide which hat that you're going to wear throughout the month, week, or day?
Yeah, it's all interchangeable. It's all interchangeable. One thing that I'm learning, which is surprisingly that I was taught that the music, so my main thing is MCing. If I could do one thing, I would really just rap.
And that's how it always started off, right?
Yeah, I would just rap.
It's like everybody, you had to have a different, a slash, or basically be versatile.
For sure.
And especially dealing in today's industry.
Yeah.
But you would just be the MC.
Yeah, I would just be the MC, but
I realized that everything else that I built was fueled off just music in general. The MC side for sure. So sometimes I get influenced to go back to the MC side and say, hey, let me just put some raps to some beats and work on those projects, and that fuels everything else. So if I don't touch that part of it, then everything else kind of creatively suffers. But yeah, man, it happens when it happens. It comes when it comes. And then at the same time too, I understand. I need certain things. Like I need mixes and stuff like this. I'm like, okay, let me put my mindset into it. But it's all interchangeable, man. It's all interchangeable. It's whenever it hits me. Sometimes I put myself back into these things, but for the most part, it really just kind of comes. It's interchangeable. It's just whenever it comes.
And whatever basically paid.
Man, these days it's not even about the pay. Of course, the pay matters for sure, but the pay wise, it's not a fact. I want to do something that's gonna fill my spirit, man. Like that I've enjoyed doing.
Right, because if it was about the pay, then probably, like, I'm just speaking for myself, I probably would have stopped a long time ago if it was strictly about the pay. I mean, I've made all kind of ways of making, of squeezing juice out these lemons. But I tell you, man, I just actually love what I do, man.
If it was about the pay for me, it would be DJing for sure. Absolutely. I can DJ till the end of time, and people always need music and always need DJs for certain events, etc., etc. But so if it was pay, the DJing part would be better. But the DJing it's fueled by the music overall. Like whether it's my music, whether it's Duval music, whether it's just music, national music or whatever. So, and I mean, and this is be real, man. When it comes to the hip hop stuff, when it comes to the rapping stuff. Ain't that much money in that thing right now, man. Especially when it ain't that much money.
Yeah.
Like, unless you're getting like trillion of streams.
Yeah.
You probably will see a salary, a certain salary.
It ain't gonna be
what's in the streets. Yeah.
NBA young boy. It's kind of a
unless you're doing shows or your merch is blowing out the door, that's fine. But technically, for you to put down a 16. The 16 don't even have to matter anymore. It could just be something, something in generic and general, whatever. But if you don't fuel it with other things, with shows, consistent shows, and features when people on that tip, then rapping ain't no money in rapping. It ain't.
I'm laughing because when you said that, I was kind of just thinking like, yeah, sometimes it be kind of blah. Sometimes some of these bars be kind of like just
kind of
just fill it in, and
Yeah.
But yeah, man, you got like you seem to really like manage what hat you wearing per, per event or occasion, and I've been trying to figure out what hat actually you do, like, because you kind of just like a savant. It's like you just like you do a lot of things good, man. I've listened to your podcast and they're informative. It's like the music's good. It's good people, like fresh people.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the network before we get into the music. How long you been doing podcasts?
So I started podcasting, I'm gonna say 2014, 15-ish. Like seriously doing it.
And did you, because I don't even know, when did you realize when they would start calling it podcasting?
No, because, all right, so back in the day, me and my homies used to like live stream. Shouts out to Sam Beckett, him, may he rest in peace, 3045 TV. So we would get together on Saturdays and just cut on the live stream. I forgot what platform we was using and all that, but we did it, but we didn't even realize that we were podcasting,
right,
in a sense. Like, we was definitely like the Drink Champs before the Drink Champs happened. So, yeah, I didn't even realize it until 2014. That's when I was just like, okay. And the thing was, when I found out what podcasting was, I didn't even want to get into it. I'm like, I just want to listen to podcasts. I do not want to get into this. And I fell into it. Got talked into it.
So, the website came before the podcasting, or did you?
Nah, the website came way after the podcast. I mean, the app, the website just hit its 2-year anniversary, like MLK weekend.
Shout out to that, man.
Yeah. 2 years, yeah. So we were just out here moving in these streets, man. We're just out here moving in these streets, you know, producing stuff, and went from there.
Yeah, man. I like the fact that you still have a website, and it's still still current, relatively current.
Mm-hmm.
Websites within the last 2 years became kind of like just basically a thing of the past. A lot of people just rely on whatever app that they choose to use the most. And for me, I was struggling with the decision on website, or do I just concentrate and basically with the social media. And I try to give I try to feed every one of these monsters, and it's one that always pops up, you know what I'm saying, a little more hungry than the others. But I always felt like I needed something to come back and really you always gonna want to have something to come back and call yours. Basically like a home, you know what I'm saying, headquarters, if you may, and that's what my website does for me. Plus the Google and the analytics, and just the avenue of making money basically just off of my post or the advertisement that I do on the website, let alone the Instagram story and the followers. I feel that I can kind of trust my numbers on my site more than I can trust the numbers.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Take them numbers, put your content on a website that you can control, and have them people, drive people to the website. Granted, you want to have the Instagrams, the Twitters, and all that stuff to connect to the people, but draw them people back to your platform,
right?
So you can have those authentic numbers. You know what I'm saying?
And so what website do you actually like to use the most? I see that you're on Twitter a lot, and Twitter is kind of like the I guess I'd say the more I feel it's the more smarter of the I would say of the slow classes, but which one do you basically enjoy the most personally?
Well, I used to enjoy Twitter. Twitter is like my favorite, but it's getting to the used to part, because I'm just getting more and more serious with my work, and I want to promote, and just try to bring people in. And Twitter just doesn't. Twitter's a place where you go and just kind of fuck off, man.
Yeah.
You go in there and just like fuck off. You just like whatever. So it's not as fun as it used to be before. You know what I'm saying? And then a lot of stuff that a lot of the direction that I'm going to right now, I can't really like be on the same wild out type shit. Like how I want to, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm getting to that position where I need to be of like management and being, being of board. And
it was fun to wild out back when DT was Donald Trump was back wilding, everybody could wild out. But now it's time to get a little more about the business. So which one do you feel is better for your business side? Like where are you going?
Facebook. Yep. My demographic, between overall 25 to 60, but you have the 40 to the 60. They the ones that really like hit me hard on Facebook, and then on Instagram, it's more of a younger crowd. But my interactions are a lot heavier on Facebook for sure. So and it's crazy because I don't even like Facebook. But
right.
But what I'm saying, the people be on there and they be talking, and they come to the events. They they purchase things. You know what I'm saying, and they push it to the other folks. So I'm like, all right, let me keep Facebook for the time being. But what works for my business for sure, Facebook without a doubt. Especially when it comes to DJing too, like that message will be blowing up because people be wanting gigs and stuff. So business wise, I have to keep those things open.
Bet. Cause I was just when I was on the site, I was like, man, he on Mixcloud. You know, but like I said, every time you feed in one monster, it's like another one pops up. Where like they're like, hey, are you on Twitch? Hey, are you on? You know.
Well, that's the thing about these days. Like now, they're promoting the fact of like pick one and run with that.
Yeah.
The main thing is you just need to like run your audience through whatever one that fits, so you can curate the one that you want. So if you say, hey, I love Twitter and I want people to look at my Twitter, then you focus on that. You know what I'm saying?
Most definitely. Back to the second.
Man, you got me playing that. You playing that with the Pieces Neighborhood. Jeez.
Yeah, I had to kind of go back.
That's a great album, man. Sheesh.
I had to go back, man. It is. I had to do my research, man. I kind of, you've been around for a minute doing your thing, man. A lot of different, you done had your hands in a lot of different things, so I had to kind of go back.
Yeah.
And kind of like, I like to know what I'm dealing with, with my interviews. So, Mr. Peterson's Neighborhood, man.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't even really gonna like basically call things slept on no more, like, cause that's just like it's too cliche. But it's basically a jewel that people should kind of like check out, even if you're not promoting it like right now. I'm gonna just say that because I did it and I found I like BABN myself. I play it a lot, and then now I'm basically like, wait, I'm kind of, I might like this one more, right? I might like this one more. Like BABN, I think it was kind of just relevant for kind of like what was going on, and like right now, like as far as like violence, like basically it just kind of spoke to the current time. In Jacksonville too, to be particular.
Yeah.
But this one was more so you. Yeah. What were you like in the head, like basically you making this album, man? And how long did it take you?
A two-year period. 2 year period of living. Two-year period of living, but like recording wise, maybe a couple months, maybe like 3 or 4 months. They kind of consolidate things and put it into.
So like you like gather your beats up through over time.
Nah, actually, that happened within the 3 month period. I gathered my thoughts over the 2 years to put into into that. You know what? One of the main things I remember about this album is like I just was like I don't want to think too much into making this album. I want to do my own album. Like I want to do the album that I feel like works. You know what I'm saying? Works in what I feel should sound good.
Yeah.
So instead of like, I don't care who you are, man. You think about making that perfect album, but
at the end of the day, you have to kind of be pleased with your product yourself, and you have to set goals, but you can't control. You only can worry about the things that you can control, man, and music now. So it's like I tell folks all the time, man, put the music out, support the music, work. So thank you for coming on the podcast, man. It's like, like work, you out here, like
I appreciate it, man.
Putting in the work for the number of platforms that you have.
Yeah.
So but it feeds, like you said, the music feeds all of them. It's the medium that you can advertise or do whatever, like, and especially like I was listening to, like you was having the jazz and just like see, like I was like, wait, he just having regular production, and it kind of just went to spot in my own mind, like, yeah, I ain't really have to worry about what the song is. Just play some easy listening between breaks, so to speak.
Right.
But that's kind of, your music is kind of a mix between that easy listening and kind of like, I guess I would say the golden age of hip hop and Duval, like, you know, with a couple of the Duval, like, in your windows.
Right.
BABN, man. Let's talk about it. Let's, like, basically be a better nigga. Like, even though it's obvious that you probably don't even really like to say nigga too much, but you'll say it when you have to, I guess.
And that, yeah. Like, even now, I wrote a couple of songs and I was like, I'm not gonna put no cuss words in it, put no nigga in it, nothing that, you know what I'm saying? Just to see if the music still holds weight. So it's been cool, but yeah, definitely BABN, man. It's like, it's not used on some light derogatory or even endearment. It's just, you know, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
It's definitely a statement, bro.
Well, it's a statement for sure. Like, yeah, it's that, and it's like, it's culturally driven when I say it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's a statement, like you said. It's one of those things, and that's why I named it like BABN, like be a better nigga. It's always to say, you know, don't just be a nigga, be a better nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, and that's where it came from.
Strive to be better. And I mean, that's what with every production that I do, man, I strive to kind of top my next, like y'all, like got to be in kind of competition with yourself or whatever to a certain degree.
Yeah.
And that's why, like I said, besides, right now I got BAB, the title track, and Reigns and Reebok is a song that I actually have in rotation on Dozha Radio. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if you actually like the project doesn't really scream to me that you like had any singles in mind. It was just like a
statement songs, yeah. If we was gonna go with a single, it would be like "Make It Better," but
yeah,
"Make It Better." But outside, between that and "Lonely," but outside that, it was just songs that I just want to make. You know, I mean, even with that, I don't want to get it to the point where I feel like I gotta make a single or a single needs to be on the album. Like, you can listen to a project and it be just songs if it's done with great intent. You know what I'm saying? Intent and purpose. But you know, we have to just break those barriers a little bit and be like, you know, not really conform to what the industry states. You know what I'm saying? Certain things, yes, you want a high resolution picture. You know what I'm saying? To give the people. But when you're doing albums and stuff, and at the point where I'm at right now, I really want people to listen to it and really understand like the message that I'm saying, and you know, these little bit of nuggets I want to add to the growth of the overall like culture of things. So yeah, if I gotta come down and be like, look, man, we all niggas, you know what I'm saying? But we just gotta be better with it, you know what I'm saying? To be more like, and yeah, that.
And he meant NEGUS, niggas. That's what they say. No, it's not niggas, it's niggas. Nah, but
shout out to Boondocks.
yeah, man. But yeah. There's like just so many things I want to dwell in, but before we take the break though, I want to basically just kind of speak on Duval's current hip hop scene as it opposes or matches up with where it was when you was dropping these jewels and what you was dropping. So like, are we gonna get another album first and foremost? Is rap still something that excites you? Are you still inspired?
It's getting. I'm getting back into it. Before I ain't gonna lie. Like literally, like a couple weeks ago, I was just like, I don't really have nothing else that I can say in regards to rap, and I'm just not inspired by it. But been getting around a few people, listening to some beats,
and then something happened.
Yep.
Can we get who's helping with this inspiration? Is it an album? Is it a certain project with somebody, or is it a certain woman that's inspiring you right now? Like, what's gonna bring the beat stop?
I have experienced a good little bit of life within the past 2 years actually. So that's the inspiration on that for one. I've done a couple of features on people's albums.
Yeah.
So doing them features on albums, they're finally like coming to, like I've done the verses a month ago, and then the albums are starting to come out now. So I hear them, I'm like,
oh, yeah, cool. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was good to be on that feature tip.
But that's day stuff. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, and you
Well,
got
that's good because I feel like I'm always putting music out, and when I put music out, nothing around me is putting music out. So I feel like I'm the only person doing my sport. So when you get around people that's doing the same thing you're doing, it adds, you know what I'm saying? It gives that type of feeling to it or whatever. So yeah. So and I like the fact that. So when I dropped my album October 2020, right? I've had like 4 or 5 verses between October 20 to like now. So it's still like my voice is still being shuffled around the culture or whatever until I get to the album
to the next, right? So yeah, we still got some work with this last album, and like I also was preaching, it's not basically totally out of the water album, and in my opinion, to not shoot a visual for something that you've already had, or basically, or even kind of with the forefront, because nowadays with TikTok and things, the way you can just come up with a bar, one of your best bars could be TikTok, you know what I'm saying, worthy. So think about that, man. But what do you think about your style and how it fits in the new, like basically, are you interested in doing features with anybody that's new, current, or whatever, or is it something that you just kind of want to stick to what you?
I would like to collab with some people that, you know, if it makes sense. So when I say make sense, meaning like it's fun. It's fun and it's innovative. When both of us know we're going to hear it, or when they hear it, it's going to be an influence. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to do it because this person has a name and they have a name. Like it has to really make sense. So I would love to collaborate with some folks, but you know, people got to get out of their ways.
Yeah.
Everybody makes this like hip hop thing so trivial. You know, I just be like, yo, especially with me, like a lot of people just be like, oh yeah, he got the up north style, or he got the backpack, you know, he the backpack rapper style, and I'm like, man, you know, we can collab. I can collab with anybody. You know what I'm saying? If it makes
sense. To me, it might be just a Northside Jacksonville style that you got. What side of town you from?
Northside, Northwest, like you know what I'm saying? Right, like 45th all day. But it's like, but. It just seemed like, even with that, I feel like I'm the unicorn that came from that area. You know what I'm saying? It might be.
I understand that because we got you, we got Lefty, we got, you know what I'm saying, for me, Belize, Amp. Like y'all push the pen. You know what I'm saying? I mean, whoever I pay was left out, but y'all push that pen, man.
Yeah.
And